Hey everyone, Janice here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about my traveler's notebook, and that is a mouthful. My traveler's notebook. So I'm going to share with you a couple of ideas that I use to organize my travel. I travel quite a bit for work and for fun, and I really love traveling. So hopefully this will help a lot of people, particularly road warriors. I think will find this useful. I will talk about expense reports and things at the end, but anybody that plans vacation, I think will benefit from some of the tips. So with that, the first thing you would do is plan your travel. And I book everything online, but of course, being a paper girl, I have to have a paper calendar. This is personal size. And I got this from Frazizzle Made. Hi Taylor, another Florida girl. And I made myself stickers using flat icon, but you can get these on Etsy. I have seen them, and actually I had requested a purchase a printable, but they didn't do this one store. But I would say if you like these, then you'll do better if you just buy them, because these are kind of messy. I cut them myself, and again, I use flat icon. I have a subscription and pulled in the plane, the hotel, and the car, so you get a sense of my travel. So here's all my itineraries. I write my confirmation numbers, and I like to have a little bit of redundancy. So I do track online. I use an app called TripIt, and it creates itineraries for me. It's about $50 a year, and I think it's worth it. If you travel a lot, it's a nice way to, get a confirmation from like American Airlines or Marriott or Avis or whatever, and you forward it to TripIt, and they create an itinerary where that week's plans are all in one place. So it's pretty cool, but backup is good. And I know my millennial friends will say, well, that's redundant. Yes, it is. I admit it. I do like to build a little bit of redundancy into all my planning and all my tracking, because if one system fails, you have it in another place. And I've definitely seen consultants that book their air and they show up for work, and then at night they go to the hotel and they want to check in and they don't have a reservation and the hotel is sold out. I have definitely seen that happen to other people. I think having a paper calendar helps prevent that. And you will see this paper calendar again in my wallet, I'm sure. Okay, with that, let's get into the notebook. So my Midori blue, I've repurposed from being a calendar to what she is now, which is purely just for travel. She doesn't get out much anymore. She stays home. She's always at my desk. I added some little travel charms, which I think are really cute. And I hope she's reading blue on camera. It looks a little black to me, but she's a dark navy. And you know the Midori, it's smooth, it's pliable, supple, really nice leather, very fragrant leather. It does get scratched, but what can I say? That doesn't bother me. Okay, let's open her up. The Midori blue came with, you could buy Pan Am inserts. It didn't come with it. You can buy them additional, but it was part of the anniversary set that you can get these Pan Am vintage looking inserts, and I just love them. And here's the case that I'm using to store extra stickers and whatnot. So I've got the stickers I made, and the Tim Holtz tabs. You'll see those in a second. I use those and I just keep them in there. Very convenient. I also will share that I bought the Pan Am insert, the little notebook, and I used it as a little travel journal. And at first I didn't even want to use this because the stickers were so cute, and I had to have a little pep talk with myself, like, you bought it to enjoy it, you have to use it. So another tip to you all, if there is something that you are saving, don't, enjoy it, use it, have fun. That's why we do this. And I'll share that another time, because I want to talk about the inks of the travel, that notebook, the art journal, but I don't know if I'll have time in this, so look forward to that another day probably. All right, here's a couple of dashboards I made, and again, I stayed with a travel theme and sort of a vintage feel to it. More Pan Am. I made little pockets. I also have a stencil that I bought. I got it on Etsy, and I got it from Happy Kiwi Gifts, and I love this stencil because it's metal. And I bought a lot of stencils that are plastic and a bit flimsy, and I've even made them with laminator sheets and plastic sheets that I had, and this is one of the best. I use this sometimes in my calendar instead of the stickers because it's got like a little plane on it, and you can see a little bit of travel. Very cute. more dashboards, more pockets. So next I'm going to talk about expense reporting, and the first thing I'm going to suggest is that you create an expense report checklist. I love this little airplane. I got this from Etsy, the Luxe Boutique. I'll put a link. But I keep the expense checklist handy, and what this is a reminder of what I should be putting on my expense report so I don't miss anything. And I'm not saying that I have every single one of these on every trip, but typically I'm flying somewhere and there's at least an overnight. Sometimes it's a day trip, but hotel. And I put the big ticket items first so I don't forget airfare, hotel, car. And then if I had to gas up, if I had parking, Uber, somehow I got to the airport, mileage, and then meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and if there were any tolls. So this is a nice handy little check yourself that when you're doing your expense report, you don't miss anything. And expense reports these days, I mean, a lot of that is also online. You can on your phone take a picture and scan in your receipt and attach it to an invoice item. But I like to have a checklist so I don't forget. I would hate to forget airfare because then I would be out a lot of money. So this is just a good tip. Let's get into more expense reporting. And I'm going to show you briefly what I started using and then I changed because this really didn't work very well for me. But I love this calendar. I got this from Jackie Smith. It's her year overview. And just a simple, here's your days and your typical days of the month. And what I was trying to do using the printable pineapple travel expense tracker was write what I was expensing. So let me see if I can show you some of this. I don't want to show my amounts and all the craziness, but basically I had dates, a description of the trip if I was going to New York or wherever, and category, personal or business, how much currency that I expensed, how much I got paid. So I would put numbers for the invoices and then track them here, where yellow was the invoice and green was I got paid for that invoice. So one was all the amount, all the detail, and then one got paid. And that was kind of convoluted. I didn't really love that. So let me keep going with this here a little bit. And let me take off my ollie clip so you can see a couple of the other pages that I have here. This is also printable pineapple. They give you a pre-populated packing list, which I think is really cute. So I put it in here. I'm not saying I use it a whole lot, particularly for work travel, which is pretty routine for me. I don't use it much at all, but I have to say for vacation, it does help to glance at a checklist and think, yeah, I probably should bring a jacket, or something. It just helps. So I really like that. Printable pineapple. I'll put the link below. More printable pineapple. They have an itinerary overview, and this was part of a travel bundle, but you can see I really didn't use it much, but I thought it was really cute and I was going to use it and then I didn't use it. Trip details, again, printable pineapple, all part of the same bundle. So I think this is really, really cute. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, let me go to a blank page of what I am using. So what often happens when I can't find an insert that is really perfect for me, I make my own. So this is where I wound up, and you can see I kind of have this coming undone a little bit. But what I have here are my travel dates, where I'm going. I have to keep track of my hours. I'm a consultant and not everybody does. So if you don't have to worry about hours, you can take out that, but this is just what I track. How much I expensed, expense report wise. The total, which is my hours plus expenses. So that was the total invoice amount, the invoice date that I sent it, the date I got paid, how much I got paid, and I usually put the check number. Now, this layout I think is really nice for consultants, but if that seems like a lot, again, you might not have to worry about your hours if you're salaried, or you don't have to worry about overtime or anything like that. But I like this layout. You could take out the hours column and maybe have like check number and deposit date, but typically I have direct deposit, so I don't worry too much about the actual date as long as I have all the other detail. So this is what I'm using now for my expense reporting as my weekly. And what else I have? So I also have another new way of tracking, at a higher level. So I'm going to show you a blank. This is a 2016 yearly planner, and I got this from, I think this might be Growing Up Goddess. I'm not sure. I will put links below to whatever I used, but I like this layout. I think it is Growing Up Goddess. Yeah. So here's the layout I like better because I can write in the amounts, like there's actual space of the pull-out planner to write in the amounts. So now I don't have to just have dots and then look up the amount somewhere else. It's all in one place. So I really like this particular layout. This is working much better for me. So this is where I am today using the yearly planner. It's a fold-out one from Growing Up Goddess, excuse me. Okay, got a couple more dashboards. Oh, and there was a Pan Am pen clip. Very cute. More pockets, vintage, more Pan Am, more traveler's notebook. I have stickers in here, and these I stamped from, I want to say it was from my Studio L2E kit, and I just put them on labels, and it was another way of tracking. This definitely was Studio L2E, and I was just using little Avery labels for the hotel, and I was making little markers at one time to track, you know, my hours and expenses. So yeah, that's all that is. You get the idea. A lot of dashboards. I love this Subway one. This is Tim Holtz. Very, very cute. Very vintagey looking. And rainbow dots by the Planner Junkie. That was what I was using on my first calendar. These are really cute. I'll repurpose these for something else. And part of the Pan Am kit, you could get a, I don't know what they would call this, but it's basically when you're writing, if you need to have support under the paper, this helps give you a little bit more support because it's hard. So this is really cute as a boarding pass. I love that. Again, the whole Pan Am vintage thing really appealed to me. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. Please comment below if you have any suggestions for me on how to do this better. I'm always looking for more efficient ways of tracking my travel. I hope you have a good day. Ciao for now. Thank you.